For today's video, we've got a beautiful 1970 280 SE. I'm Kieran from Old Burka. I do spares for Old Burka 75 to 95. I'm located here in Nelson Mandela Bay in South Africa's Eastern Cape. And my daughter.
I'm Bella from Bellbins and I buy and sell Mercs.
And your website is?
Bellbins.com.
There we go. Enjoy the video. For today's video, we've got a beautiful 280 SE, a 1970 280 SE that the owner GK has bought past to do a video on. Absolutely beautiful car. Well, it was his grandfather's and he bought it about 17 years ago. And we'll be taking it for a drive. I just wanted to show you. I mean, it's so original. It's really, really nice. Look at that interior. Uncracked dash. It's as he bought it from his granddad's estate. Got leather in the back. I mean, look at that. And once again, that smell. And I pointed out on the last 108 video that we did. I mean, that smell is such. I mean, you smell it, and you know, it puts you right back to the early 70s. Let me just show you this. How cool is this? Okay, so it comes with this set of luggage, and all the books are here. Absolutely everything. Owner's manuals. Very, very cool. It's still on Northern Cape plates. It has got the EC plates over here in the suitcase. The original toolkit still. Come have a look. The Mercedes wheel spanner still over here. Take it out. There we go. Fits in here on the side.
The jack.
Jack as well. Looks like the original, one of the original tires as well. Still brand new. This is, of course, the injected version of the 108. Back in 1970, I just had a look. These cars sold for all of 6,000 Rand. Brand new in 1970. And here in South Africa, around 1,700 of them were sold in 1970. And the same for most other years. I see GK's always telling me he's put in a new radiator. Quite recently. A refurbed, yeah. He's decided to leave it original. I think that was the right call as well. The car's never been painted. Yeah, it's never been painted, and he touched these up. In fact, GK, come. You can.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
I stupidly, when the car moved here from the Northern Cape, I went and took some rust converter to it with an earbud, not realizing that the rust converter was going to go black. So that's what you've got here. But a little bit of a touch up here and there will
Yeah,
do
I
wonders,
think,
so.
I mean, as long as I've known the car, and I've known it for, must be 10 years. I
No,
think
we
that-
met
yeah,
each other in 2011 already.
That's true.
Yeah,
If not earlier.
yeah.
And it's always been like that. And I think it was the right call of yours to just leave it. You know,
Yeah.
rather than have it resprayed and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is as it was.
And I once had it buffed, and that did a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean the rest of it, there's no rust anywhere
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you can see. I mean absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Zero. Nuts.
You were telling us a bit earlier about the hubcaps.
Oh yeah, I did I drove around with the hubcaps not knowing that they were hot property on the streets. And I would drive and just leave the car and not worry about them. And they weren't cable tied or nothing. Until the one day I did a wedding of which I was one of the guests.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and but it was also the wedding car.
Yeah.
And it was in Central. And parked it, told the car guys look after it nicely. They said no worries. And then when I got back to the car at 3 a.m. in the morning,
Hubcaps. Are gone.
hubcaps gone.
Ah, man.
But I managed to source beautiful hubcaps from East London.
Yeah.
So they are available and ready, but they're obviously not color coded.
Okay.
So then I just had these bunts.
Yeah, and
Put
you were saying you've also got the original steel wheels.
Yes,
still.
yeah. Got the original set of.
But you know,
rims.
if you look, I mean, Bills, if you come around here, I think the bunts actually look really good on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, nice and
if
sporty.
if you put on a set of spots, will look lacquer. But as is, I like it. It looks like it's been dropped.
It does, but it hasn't.
No, no.
It's completely standard, yeah.
But I like the boxiness of it, and it looks sporty. I like it a lot, yeah.
Very cool. I think let's take it for a drive.
Do.
We've just left the old Mercar warehouse here in this beautiful 1970 280 SE. And are these M130 motors. They have 120 kilowatts and around 240 newton meters of torque, which is actually great. I mean, it's more than enough to keep up with modern day traffic. GK, I mean, you were saying now that you've gone up to Uppington a couple of times in it, and on the open road,
beautiful, no issue at all. You don't need to be in a hurry. Have patience in terms of where you're going, but if you can cruise, what was it? I think it was 65 miles an hour. What does that give you? 110.
Yeah, 110, yeah.
Don't be in a hurry. Just, yeah.
For academic sake only, I mean, what sort of consumption do you get?
No
Did you
clue.
monitor it?
I can't tell you.
Does it?
Zero
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't.
But you know, that sort of speed, I mean, they're really not too bad either. I mean, you're probably using, whatever, doesn't really matter.
I think my father-in-law, he's quite set on, always when we used to come back to the farm, he'll ask me, so what did you get?
Yeah.
And I think what I told him, and it wasn't overly more than what it would be for a normal car.
Yeah.
And back then, I think it was something like around a kilo.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back then, I mean, in the early 70s, petrol was next to nothing. I was reading an article the other day in an old car magazine where they were moaning that over a period of a year, with the petrol price increase, you'd be spending R7 more over a year. And oh no, I mean,
No, I can't remember the car being more expensive to drive than a normal car.
Yeah.
As long as you kept to 65 miles an hour.
Sure, yeah. They are actually quite quick, these cars. I seem to remember I was reading a test also a few weeks ago, and it, interestingly enough, back then 180 kilometers an hour was pretty quick, and that's what these used to do. So, but listen to that sound, eh? It's a beautiful sound, these M130s. And very stable on the road as well, eh? So we go down Old CV Road here in Chelsea. You watch the other videos, we're always doing this route, and the reason is Old Mercar warehouse is actually located here. And it's nice to do the same route over and over because, it's just a nice basis of comparison with the other cars that we've tested. I'm in fourth, and I mean, we're doing 40 miles an hour. And the responsiveness is instant.
Yep. I've many a time given it some gas up Buffelsfontein. Or just on CV Road, on the Marine Drive here.
Yeah?
It opens up beautifully. It used to have a bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
At 68 miles per hour. You'd have a shudder.
Yeah.
But I think since I changed the rims,
Yeah.
it might have been something as small as just
Old
wheel
tires, maybe.
alignment
Or even old tires, Old tires
yeah.
have a huge impact
It's
on that
gone.
sort of thing.
It's gone.
Yeah. We get it up to like 60, 65 on Old CV Road here.
Yeah.
And pretty refined. Yeah, let's close the windows and just see, when we're on there. And then the technique here is obviously we just redline it and we drop the clutch and do a bit of a burnout, eh?
Good luck with that.
I love the gear shift as well, eh? I mean, it's so precise.
Yeah.
For a 52-year-old car. More. What's it, 57-year-old car? Is it?
Yeah. Where are we now? It's 55.
55, yeah. Wow, beautiful, eh? And pretty refined. I mean, if you, you know, it's a lot quieter than the Volvo. Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's do 50 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour is what 80 kilometers an hour is about 50, I think. 45, somewhere around there. So in top gear from 45 to 100, let's see. I mean, it's beautiful. It's just very linear. No hesitation whatsoever. We get it up to that 65 cruising speed. There we go. I mean, you can do this all day.
Yep.
Very comfortable. And also, if you wanted to overtake, you're right there.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with the car in terms of taking it on the open road for a long distance.
I mean, I can see that. The oil pressure is exactly where it should be. The temperature is exactly where it should be. What a beautiful car.
Thank you.
You were saying earlier that just a bit of the history behind it. It was your granddad's. Right?
Yeah, I'll just quickly and try and put it into a nutshell. It was my granddad's. He bought it in 70. They were staying in a town called Camus, which is in the Northern Cape, very close to Uppington. He bought them in 1970, brand new, and then unfortunately he passed away in 72,
Okay.
which meant that my grandmother was left with the car,
Yeah.
and the only thing that she did with the car was drive it to tennis and church.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Really? Huh?
Yeah. That was it. The rest of the time the car was parked in a garage under blankets, and if you look at all the extras inside the car, you can see that she obviously looked after the car.
So basically from 1972 until you bought it in 2005 or 6, whatever it was.
She
7.
drove to church and tennis
So
in the Northern Cape.
So this mileage of 64,000, 54,000
Yeah.
miles is probably accurate.
Must be.
That's incredible, eh?
Yeah. I don't know of long trips that this car has done. It might have done one or two to Windhoek. Might have done one or two to Springbok, because I remember them living in Springbok for a time.
Yeah.
But the majority of the lifespan of this car was spent in a garage under blankets in Camus.
That's incredible, eh?
Yeah.
And in the 18 years that you've had it, also always garaged.
Yes, coincidentally, I end up marrying a girl from the Northern Cape. Their farm is a stone's throw from where my gran used to live.
Okay.
The farm is on the Namibian border.
Yeah.
So what happened was, when I bought this one, it went and stood in a storeroom on her father's farm.
Okay.
And we were overseas at the time, and all I would do is I would disconnect the battery,
Yeah.
go overseas for a year, come back, connect the battery, check the water in the radiator, check the tire pressure, drive it to Uppington, put petrol in, stop 2-3 times along the way, and a couple hours later I'm in PE. Have a holiday in PE, take it back,
Yeah.
disconnect the battery, go overseas again, and that happened for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And then when we eventually came back to PE, this was our daily for the first couple weeks and months. And since then, it's been standing in my garage in Mount Pleasant, and I try and drive it every Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. On this Seaview Road, or we'll take it to Crossways Market.
Yeah, just give it a bit of a run.
Yeah, I'll take it out to St. Francis.
Yeah.
I took it to, the longest this thing's gone recently is we went to Augsburg.
Wow.
Yeah, for the Winter Festival.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, with
And-
2 passengers in the back.
And it just, you can get
No
it and
issue.
go basically wherever you want. Yeah.
Zero issue, none whatsoever.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
that's
the
what
furthest
these cars really excel in, you know, just regular use. And
Mm.
it's so nice to see a car like that being used, like, you know, being
Yeah.
used the way you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Wells, you've got to drive this. I'm going to pull over here, and then you can take over from here.
Okay.
So, Billy, you've taken over driving.
Yeah. It's lovely, hey?
Beautiful, hey? And quite different to, the 280S we drove a couple of weeks ago.
The manual gearbox is very nice.
Beautiful. How-dee-da.
I don't know.
That would have been funny.
But the manual box is incredible, hey?
It's very
It just
nice.
clicks into like a switch.
Yeah.
But we're always carrying on raving about manual boxes as opposed to the autos here and all Berks, and for me the manuals are just so much better here.
And it's more fun.
And it's more fun and more responsive and more economical and just simpler and more reliable.
How common were cars with power steering back in 1970?
Not very common at all. This does have,
Yeah.
but no, not very common at all.
Because that also makes a massive difference
Yeah, that does.
with a big car, big heavy car.
I've driven a 108 without power steering, and man, that's a workout, eh?
Yep. I can imagine.
Oh shit. People are racing down this road today.
Yeah, they really are, eh? How about that sound, eh? There's nothing that sounds like a 108 with an M130 engine, eh?
I love that acceleration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the torque. And as I mentioned earlier, for me, my first exposure to this was up in Windhoek. A friend of mine, they were farmers just outside Windhoek, and his mom bought one of these things. I must have been 5 years old, somewhere around there. And the smell of that car is exactly like the smell of this.
Okay.
The leather, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a time warp, eh?
Yeah.
Looks like a nice period radio as well. You were saying earlier that it isn't connected or something, but I mean it really looks nice there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think something went wrong between there's sound, but there's no. I think it's an aerial issue.
Okay.
It doesn't pick up anything.
But as we were chatting earlier, what? It's very nice to just get a Bluetooth speaker and use that. That's all you need,
Yeah.
rather than putting in a modern
That's
radio.
got
very
this.
nice.
Oh, there we go. Look at that, eh? Wow.
You take out the radio, you put that back
Yeah,
in.
man, look at that.
Take out the aerial, put a grommet in, and play a song off your phone through Bluetooth.
Exactly, yeah. Even the cubby light still works, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ashtray might actually be in pristine condition.
Never used.
Never used.
I don't know if my grandfather smoked. I don't know.
As we arrive back here at the old Merco. Easy to drive as well, eh, Bells?
It is. I thought it was going to be harder to drive than it is. But I had an easy time.
I mean, it's no different to driving really a 123 or anything like that in terms of effort.
Yeah,
And probably a bit easier.
maybe, hey? The gearbox feels smoother.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, just look at the condition of this car inside. Really, what a treat. Even this wood here, around the window surrounds. Well, GK, thank you for letting us take it for a drive.
No, thank you.
What an absolute pleasure, and it's man, what a treat.
Glad you enjoyed it.
And thank you for watching, and if you do enjoy the videos that we put on this channel, please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the comments. If you've got anything you'd like to ask or add, please put it in the comments. I'll definitely, I'll see you there.